but indeed, Gmod here, and we're back with more Pokemon Platinum. In the last episode, we were inside a new part of Victory Road that we couldn't access before, as you can see right here. And after helping out a nice little girl named as Marlene, we made our way over here to a new place we've also never been to before. After escorting her here to Route 224. Kind of an interesting route, and as you can see on the map here, if I pull it up, just because it's been a little bit, a route that is actually in a pretty interesting place. It's beyond the Pokemon League. There's always been this patch of land over here on the map that we've just never been to, but now we can go here, so yeah. Today, we're going to be exploring it and see what lies beyond. Although I'm going to be honest with you, this exploration might not be super long. However, there are trainers here, believe it or not. And we have battle to do. And unfortunately, we're still missing one of our party members because Driftloon had to come along because for some reason, they love fog in that part of Victory Road. I don't know who put that there, but they should be fired. And we could avoid the trainers if we really wanted to, but you know, I could use the experience and, you know, it's a brand new area. It's a whole new world. You gotta explore. And they have a Nuzlocke. That looked... I don't know how I feel about how he came out of the Pokeball. He looked a little weird. He looked like he was trying to flex, but he didn't have anything to flex with. You know what, Nuzleaf? I'm so strongly sure that my Gallade is so powerful compared to you that I'm gonna get faked out. Never mind. Alright, you got me. However, you fool! I have the ability Steadfast, so now I am extremely fast. One of the rare times that ability comes into play in single player, but there you go. Funny ability. And look at that, one shot at my Rock Smash. I had a feeling. I'm like, I have a feeling, because Nuzleaf is like a little baby Pokemon compared to us. I'm so sure that Rock Smash is gonna one shot. I don't even need to use my close combat here. And I was right. Unfortunately, they do have Gyarados, who is kind of annoying for me because he has Intimidate. But you know what? I'm gonna stay in because I believe in the Pokemon that believe in me, or something like that. Psycho, go! Maybe this was a good chunk. I did get intimidated though, so it's probably gonna eat this. Yeah, look at that. And it's okay. This is actually kind of scary. And it's Dragon Dancing. Thankfully, I got the speed boost, so I should still be faster. But like, that's kind of scary. Okay, we're still faster. Please don't go for Waterfall. It would really hurt, I think. That's gonna hurt even more. Oh god. Ow. 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 I would know that thing's gonna hurt. I have one. We respect Gyarados around here and how powerful that thing can hit. Especially with +1 from Dragon Dance. But we survived, and we got the level, so not all that bad. Ruben defeated. Definitely a lot of expertise for sure. You kind of gave me a speed boost, otherwise we might have been in some really big trouble there. I'm not gonna lie to you. That Alcatel really did hurt. And you know what? It hurt so much, I'm actually using one of my 9 Hyper Potions here because, ow. Speaking of which, the only team member I have left here that isn't, you know, Driftloon, obviously, because, you know, they're just here for the ride. The air balloon ride, if you will. Oh, good one. We're gonna be using Gyarados here. Let's catch him at the level 61 gang, shall we? Go over here, pick one of these up. Ooh, an upgrade. I think we already have one of these, but like, hey, that never hurts to have 2 of them, right? I'm actually kind of curious. Do we have 2 of these? I swear we got one before. We have 3 of these. Wow, okay. Apparently, Silphkill lives throwing around their products in all regions of Sinnoh because what the heck is this thing doing here? But yeah, this here is the upgrade. If those don't remember, this here it lets you upgrade your Porygon to a Porygon 2 via a trade evolution. Kind of handy. I don't know why you need 3 of them, but you never know. Maybe you're just like the biggest fan of Porygon Z or Porygon 2. I've seen countless trainers and even more Pokemon. So what kind of trainer are you? I don't know, not to brag or nothing. I'm just like the champion. You know, I caught like all the legendaries, like most of them in the region. That's a Muck. Hello, Muck. I was so busy bragging, I forgot to mention that the old man grew hair in the battle again because I freaking loved that at the sprite. And you know what? I'm gonna show him what a Gyarados with Dragon Dance does. We got to see it on the other side. How about we show it what happens when I do it? Mr. Sludge Bomb, please don't poison me. It'd be pretty cool, I'm just saying. Alright, cool. And now, I could Earthquake for the overkill, but you know what? I'm just gonna demonstrate how powerful this move is. This is a neutral hit, not super effective. +1 Dragon Dance. Gyarados, send him to the garbage heap. Just because he's a Muck, and, you know, I want him to have a delicious meal, because I think Muck like that kind of stuff, right? They're not like Garbodor or like Trubbish, you know, but I think Muck has similar taste buds, you know? A refined palate of garbage and trash. Who am I to judge? Ooh, Licky Tongue. Alright. This is a Pokemon I haven't seen in a minute. Hello, Licky Tongue. How are you doing? Unfortunately for you, I don't think you're going to be surviving this very long. You will not be making sushi out of me today, I'll tell you that much. No licking sushi for you. Big waterfall. Big hurt. Nice, alright. Take care of that, and one more to go. Mighty Yenna, who also has Intimidate. However, somehow I don't think this is going to matter. Mighty Yenna is not the tankiest Pokemon in the business, so even though he did lower my attack, I'm back to neutral, I still use the one-shot. This is the power of Gyarados. Never let Gyarados get a Dragon Dance off, or else they can just run away with the match. Like this. Splendid. I am losing a lot of HP from my life orb, though, I can't lie. I see, simply outstanding. And wait for it. He's bald again! How does he do it? I see Count Shredder, so even more Pokemon. You're a strong trainer. Moreover, your heart is strong. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Also, there has to be a hit item here, right? I'm not going crazy. No? This game's evil. Now, honestly, this room's actually bigger than I remember this room being kind of small, but now I'm thinking about I think I actually just remember how this room looks like. I think we actually got a good ways to go. So that being said, let me go ahead and put on another max repel. Who do I want in the lead? You know what, Bentley? Let's have some fun. Ye old starter, why not? Karate Man, I challenge you to a duel! Alright, so Pokemon Squad, get another kick up a storm! Are you gonna have like Hitmon top and Hitmon lead? That'd be kinda cool. Maybe they kick us a hint to what he has. He has 2 Pokemon! That's close to what I was thinking about. That's the baby form. That's kind of on the ball. Unfortunately for him, I'm gonna Earthquake and he's gonna explode. Because that is in fact a baby. Versus the mighty Torterra. Big Earthquake. Yeah, he's not surviving that. Do not put the coughing baby in the way of the Earthquake. It doesn't usually work. Hey, I was right. He actually does have a kicking Pokemon. Hey, Hitmonlee, how you doing? Oh yeah, big kick. Unfortunate for you. Oh, he's actually faster. Although he uses Mega Kick, which is funny enough a normal move, and not a fighting move. So this is gonna bounce off me. Yeah. How do you not have high jump kick? That's kind of like your thing, and you're like what, level 55? 59 even. Wow. Okay. What the heck happened here? Hitmonlee, why do you not have high jump kick? Also, Hitmonlee has like 2 defense, so I was pretty sure it's gonna one-shot. Hitmonchan are kind of weird to have like a billion special defense, but like no physical defense, even though they're a fighting type, which makes them unique. I like it, but it's kind of funny. Because that happens sometimes. And we got another person right over here who looks like I can't get through them. Or maybe I can. Okay. Ah, I see you. You're hiding in there. You're using your hair to camouflage. I see you. We'll battle these guys in a second, but first, I kind of want to. Aha! I had a feeling. There's going to be an item over here. I want to go pick this up. What could it be? No clue. An Ultra Ball. No, video game, that's a Pokeball, dummy. If you look at the sprite, that was clearly a Pokeball. I can't believe this game's lying to me. Do not believe in Platinum's lies, everybody. I'm here to tell you the truth. I'm looking out for y'all. And that is a Repeat Ball, even though that's actually a Pokeball. Have we seen the Repeat Ball before? I don't think, have we? No, I'm pretty sure we have. I think we've seen it, right? Surely. I don't think I've ever used one during this playthrough, because usually during, you know, like, Let's Play playthroughs, you don't really use them that much. But the Repeat Ball is a pretty cool Pokeball. I like the color scheme on it a lot. But more importantly, it also makes it so it's more effective to work against Pokemon that you've already caught one of. So, like, if you're going to, like, try to catch multiple Pokemon, maybe you're looking for, like, the perfect nature or something. You know, maybe you're looking for, like, a shiny or something. You never know. Could come in handy. That's it, though. I want experience. Fight me. I don't care who you are. No one interferes with my treasure hunting. I gave him a really crappy Australian voice, but, that's who he is now, I guess. Maniac Larry. That's not a very Australian name. You got Aerodactyl, though, which is a cool Pokemon. Unfortunately, it's a Pokemon that I can't really touch. Actually, you know what? Nah, Bentley's got this. I believe in Bentley. Especially because Aerodactyl's kind of known to have not the greatest flying moves. Like, it doesn't get Brave Bird, even though I really think it should. I know it's not a bird, technically, but, like, come on, man. It's actually, like, low-key a pet peeve of mine in the future games where, like, this thing has, like, Rock Head and Tough Claws when it Mega Evolves. Obviously, because of Mega Aerodactyl. And it just doesn't get Brave Bird. It's like, come on, guys. Let the cool fossil Brave Bird people. I know it's not a bird, but, like, let's make an exception, okay? It kind of just makes sense, right? That's a little gamer rant. Nerd rant, even. My Pokemon! My treasures! Unfortunate for you. The treasure here was your prize money in my pocket. Oh, oh, oh. I constantly analyze Pokemon in various battles on my laptop. Nerd! I can't speak though, I'm definitely a Giga nerd myself. So I respect it. Ace Trainer Jamie, alright. Okay, you have a Metagross. I understand why you analyze things, because you're probably taking inspiration from Metagross here. Metagross here is a pseudo-legendary Pokemon of the Hoenn region. This thing is an absolute monster. It's a skill psychic type. It has a fantastic stats. But thankfully, I'm a ground type, which is one of its few weaknesses. And also, I'm apparently faster. Okay, I was not actually expecting that. Metagross is not slow, per se, but it's not... Okay, well, it's not lightning fast, but it's, like, fast enough, you know? And I wonder... Okay, you know what, Metagross? Maybe I'm the pseudo-legendary, actually. You know, maybe you're the random Pokemon, and I'm the pseudo-legendary. You ever think about that? Not bad. Alright, I don't know how that worked out so easily. I definitely thought it would hit me and it would hurt, but I guess Earthquake is just that strong. But honestly, it is Earthquake, so I shouldn't be too surprised. And my team's kind of taking a beating here, so I'm going to heal up a little bit. We're a little bit low in Hyper Potions here, but I think we'll be fine. We can fly out of here when we're done our business anyway and go buy some more, so it's not that bad. What is bad, though, is that we now have uneven levels once again. That was level 62. It's unacceptable. We gotta fix this. I'll put Susano in the front here. Actually, we were just using Susano. How about we go with... You know what? Actually, no, I want to use Big Boss. I want to use my bird. The Big Boss, even. The Big Cheese. I feel like there's a way over here I haven't found. Hold on. I see a lot of water up there. Obviously, we can't get through here. Aha! A secret entrance! I knew I was missing something. There's something here, and yes, there's a power lurking. Were we drawn by it as well? Honestly, at this point, let's just fight every trainer on the route. We need the experience. Because I'm not going to say nothing yet, but there's a challenge that we're going to have to take on coming up kind of soon, and our levels could definitely be better for it, so. Battling trainers is not a terrible idea right now, that's all I'm going to say. Especially when we're fighting a psychic trainer with a dark type, you know, like, it kind of just works out, right? Like, you know, kind of just makes sense, right? Nice critical hits. I actually don't know the odds in that specific. I thought it was 100% in this generation, but I realized that it's not in Gen 4 where it's 100%. In the future generations, my 9 slashes would be 100% critical hitting. I actually don't know exactly the crit chance in this game. I think it's about 80, but I'm not sure. If any Gen 4 fanatics that remember the crit ratio stuff in this game, maybe I'll look into it. If I find an answer, I'll put it on screen now. Because as you can see there, I didn't crit that time, so it's like, okay, what the heck? Strange. The power that slumbers within you, and it's rather marvelous indeed. Thank you. I think this is called my beating heart. Also, there's a den on here, so we have to go take to the water. Take a nice little side stroll, go over here. Actually, can I just... Well, I guess there's not really any point going any further, so yeah, we can just do it like this. You know what? I want more experience. For some reason, I was drawn here, and it's here that I met you. I want to know what that all means. I don't know. I wasn't even. I originally was walking past here, but you know. Woo, Mischievous. Aw, I like Mischievous a lot. Very cute Pokemon. Most of the time in Pokemon, I like the final evolutions more than, you know, the babies. But in this case, I actually like Mischievous more than Mismagius, but I like both of them. But I do like Mischievous a lot. One of my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon. One of them. If I'm gonna put my top 3 Gen 2 Pokemon, it's probably like... It's like Heracross, Mischievous, and probably Skarmory. That's probably my top 3. Kind of a weird list, I know, but you know. Y'all know how much I like Heracross. If you were there for the Heart Gold playthrough, or the Heart Gold / Soul Silver playthrough, you know how much I like Heracross. That's my guy. I see. So that's what it means. Care to elaborate? I feel some sort of mystic presence emanating from here. Yeah, that's definitely not me, but good luck with that. And oh! Did my repel wear out? I must have missed it. It's Big Bingo! Also known as Slotzel. You know what? I want to level up. I want a Night Slash. This thing is faster than me, and I'm a level almost higher than that. Just go show you how fast Slotzel really is. Because, wow. That is a level gap. big damage. There's the crit. So yeah, we got it like 3 out of 4 times. Maybe it's like 75% crit chance. If we're following like the straight up math, you know. 62, because we got it 3 out of 4 times, so you know, it kind of just, unless we got really lucky on the coin flips, that's kind of how it works. And you're level 62 now, so we can swap you out. And apparently my repels were out, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix that real quick. Oh, item, go back, run it back, back the truck up, we gotta go. PP max, awesome. Love it when my PP is maxed. Anyways, I had to make the joke. Everyone makes the joke at some point, right? Everyone makes the freaking joke. It's honestly to the point where I'm kind of surprised the Poke Company has never changed like the term for PP. You know, I didn't like give it a new name or something. Cause I'm sure even back then in like the old days, like playground days of like red, blue, yellow, I'm sure people still make that joke. I was alive for that, you know. I'm a 2001 baby, but you know, surely. And we're back to where we were. If I'm not mistaken, we're actually approaching the end of here. My dragon Pokemon choose to become powerful here. They sure like it. Dragon Pokemon, you say? Interesting. Dragon Tamer Hayden would make sense, and Altaria. Okay. Now, normally this is where it'd be Alice's time to shine, but she's kind of not here, so we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. And, you know, cut them into pieces with Psycho Cut. The old-fashioned way, you know. Not bad, Dragon Pulse. I should be fine. That shouldn't do too much. Altaria's not the strong... Yeah, look at that. Altaria's not the strongest Dragon-type Pokemon offensively. It's got some decent bulk to it, but it's not an offensive monster like, you know, Garchomp is, for example. There we go, and Seadra, okay. Got some interesting dragons on you. When you said dragon types, I was thinking of some certain ones. That this was definitely not one of them. Hi, Seadra. More Psycho Cut. Almost. Dragon Dance, fair enough. You are a dragon after all. You do be dancing. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to save you here. Especially because you use a special move, not a physical move. That's not going to help you. There aren't that many physical water moves, so I kind of get that actually did a lot. Ow. That's really going to show you that Altaria is really not an offensive Pokemon because, like, this thing's a baby, technically, and Altaria is a fully evolved Pokemon, and that Hydro Pump did way more. Your battle style, so savage. Yeah, my fault. I tell Gilly to cut things, and he do a cut. Item over here. Destiny Knot. Okay, this is actually kind of an interesting item. At first glance, it's not that interesting, but like once you get to know what it is, what the inner workings of it are, it actually is kind of interesting. If I can find it. It's like way at the bottom here. Way down here. There we go. Here is the Destiny Knot. This item is interesting where if you being affected by Cute Charm, or just Infatuation as the status is called, your opponent will also get inflicted with it as well. Which is, you know, it's something, you know, it's kind of funny. However, what's more interesting is how this thing works in breeding. If you have your Pokemon hold on to this and they breed and make a baby, the Pokemon's IVs will be carried over to the baby. I'm not gonna go too deep into all this stuff because, you know, this is more of a casual, like, main game playthrough. But if you're more interested in learning about Pokemon breeding, this item is gonna be very important, and I would highly recommend looking into it. That being said, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we hit some sort of mountain, it looks like. Honestly, this one's kind of big. I noticed it being smaller than it's been so far, but I must have misremembered because clearly there's more to it than meets the eye. Like I said, I think there's an item over here, right? No, there's no way. Really? What the heck? I've been baited again. Unless, wait. I just realized. Wait a minute. Maybe I haven't. Hold on. What's this on here? It's my repel wearing off again. God dang it. Alright, let's go find. I have to dig all the way down here to talk about the item. I'm gonna go bowling back up. Battle. Grumpy. There we go. Oh, this was just a way back to the start. Oh, okay, well, I just wasted my time. Let's just keep going back. Go this way, and as you can see here, it looks like we meet some sort of dead end here. A big old rock here. The surface is unmarked. It is polished like a mirror. Interesting. So yeah, it looks to be that this is the end of the route. However, this rock is more interesting than it would originally appear, because this rock here was part of a special event back in the day for Pokemon Platinum. And once again, it's kind of a similar situation to the Arceus situation, where there's an event, you had to pick up an item from the event, and then you would unlock a brand new feature, essentially. And this here, by going to the event when this was live, for Japan, it was in April 18th, 2009 to May 11th, 2009. For America, it was September 28th, 2009 to November 8th. You would get the Oak's letter from the Mystery Gift events at the Pokemarts. And what you would do with this item is that you would take it all the way here to this rock. And upon bringing it here, Professor Oak and Marley would arrive. And upon arriving, they would let you know... Or sorry, they wouldn't let you know. I worded that weirdly. So basically what you would do is that you would write down what you're most thankful for by the stone, and once you've done this, this stone will transform into a new access part of the route. And believe it or not, this route would be covered in flowers, and is honestly, actually not even honestly, it is truthfully the longest route in Pokemon history. It just keeps going and going in a straight path of beautiful flowers and grass. And once you make it to the end, you'll eventually reach a meadow area with the legendary Pokemon Shaman waiting for you in the middle. Unfortunately, as you may have already figured out, I'm playing this on a physical copy, as mentioned before, and this event is long lost to time, only really being accessible if you played the remakes Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, where they reran it in that event. But that's also gone now, so even if I wanted to, I couldn't even play it for you in person right now. But I don't want to talk about it nonetheless, because, you know, it's a Pokemon thing that's in the game, and it's a way how you got one of the legendary mythical Pokemon. But since we can't really, you know, catch it, we can at least talk about Shaman. Shaman here is a grass type who can also turn into a grass flying type when holding a Gracie's flower. Or when it's, not holding a Gracie, when a Gracie's flower was used on the Pokemon, I should specify, that's kind of important. The thing that's interesting about Shaman is that in its base form, it is kind of like the Mew of the game. It has 100 in every single stat, completely balanced out. Nothing too interesting, it's just a nice, solid, you know, 100 in every stat. However, when you turn it into its sky form, its stats will move around, it'll become faster, it becomes more offensively inclined. And also being a grass flying type is a pretty unique typing. It's not the only grass flying type after all Tropius exists, but it's one of the few. So Shaman overall is a pretty interesting Pokemon, but unfortunately, as mentioned, I can't really show it to you here because, yeah, this event is long lost time, and I can't really do a whole lot about that. But I want to show off nonetheless that you could get that where you would have got it if you were back in the day. But yeah, since we can't have the event done, that's kind of all there is to this route. This is what the main purpose of this route is, and unfortunately we just kind of can't do it because Pokemon events happened. Bit of a shame, but it was kind of a cool thing. It's one of those things where, like, I get, like, it's kind of a shame that we can't access them now, you know, normally. But if you were a kid back in the day, like I was, and you did some of these events, it was really cool, honestly. I can't get too mad about it. Like, back in the day, there was a Meloetta event in Black and White. I remember doing that one, and the Keldeo event back in Black and White. I didn't really do them in Gen 4, because I wasn't, like, aware of them in Gen 4. But for Gen 5, I definitely did them, and they were really cool, so I can't get too mad about it. On that note, there is also one more event I want to talk about today before we call it an adventure completed. Canalave City. And if you've played these games before, or you've been on the internet for long enough, you probably know where I'm about to go with this. But before that, I want to heal my Pokemon. Because they took a little bit of a beating on their way there. So next up on events I want to talk about, because believe it or not, we're going to be covering 3 of them today. We're going to be going over here to a shack that we have seen before but have never entered. The place we want to go is right up here. Harbor Inn. The text is too faded to read. If you try to go over here, the door is tightly shut. It appears impossible to open. And that's because we do not have a certain item that you would have from an event back in the day. This was an event for the mythical Pokemon Darkrai, who is honestly probably my favorite mythical in the entire series. The movie rules. I like him in this game. He's just a cool Pokemon in general. Call me an edgelord, I just like Darkrai. But that being said, let's talk about the event itself. The event took place in Japan on December 1st to 2008 to January 15th, 2009. In America, it was August 3rd, 2009 to September 13th, 2009. And in Europe, it was August 3rd, 2009 to September 13th, 2009. By going to the Pokemon by doing this event, you would pick up the item called the Members Card. And by getting the Members Card, you would be able to open up this locked door. And upon doing so, you would be able to go to bed inside this inn. And once doing so, you would enter into a nightmare. And you would enter a new island. An opposite island to Chrysalia's. And in that island, you will encounter Darkrai. Darkrai would come at level 50. It's a pure dark type Pokemon with the following stats. Pretty cool Pokemon. I like it a lot. Had a great movie, but unfortunately, like I said, because of how events took place, I couldn't really, fight it here, even though I would love to. Once again, if you want to fight it realistically, the remake was probably your best bet, but also, thankfully, Darkrai also appears in Pokemon Legends Arceus, so if you want to see Darkrai in action, there is a game you can go find yourself Darkrai in. And with that being said, there's one more event I want to talk about for today, because I figured we'd have an episode just talking about certain events that happened back in the day. And the last one we're going to be talking about is kind of an interesting one, because it's not really a legendary Pokemon per se, but a feature for Pokemon that exists that is unfortunately just lost to us, which honestly, in my opinion, I feel like this was kind of just a dumb choice. This one, like the other two, were kind of cool mythical events. I kind of get it. This one, in my opinion, that was kind of just dumb how they handle it, and I'm going to complain about it, so bear with me here. However, before we do that, we need Cut. And that means Bidoof is back on the team, baby. That's right, all you people who missed Bidoof, don't worry. The star of the show is back in business. I'm so sorry, Alice, you're like very behind in levels now compared to everybody else. So the final event we're going to be talking about here is one that I'm a little bit mixed upon, unlike the Darkrai and Shaman ones who I thought were just kind of cool. So going over here to the old Galactic building, right in here, you would want to go over here. And over here, it looks like a normal, some sort of server thing, like a TV. Sinnoh Now! This is it, the one you've all been waiting for. It's time for Sinnoh Now, your report of what's hip and happening in Sinnoh. You're the first to learn the cutting edge of Sinnoh trends. This hell, they'll bring you up to the on-the-spot weather. 213 is blessed with cloudless skies. That tells me to do my pile of plundery. Even as I try to under the sun here. That's a word you brought by Helena. Thank you, Helena. Very cool. But essentially here, this one here is another event that you would pick up from the Pokemon. You would get the item, the Secret Key. Upon getting the Secret Key, you would be able to open up a room right over here. And by opening up a room here, you would find 5 appliances left behind here. And these appliances at first don't seem anything too crazy. However, they are specifically designed with the Pokemon Rotom in mind. If you would bring your Rotom here and have it interact with one of these appliances, it would inhabit the appliance, I don't know why I said enhance, the appliance, and change form into one of 5 various forms. You would have the fan form, the fridge form, the washing machine form, why am I brain farting? Why am I brain farting? Oh yeah, and the, what do you call it? What's the word for it? The lawnmower form and the microwave form, or the oven form, whatever you would prefer we're calling it. That's the reason why I was having a brain fart there is I was trying to remember if it was an oven or a microwave, but I was like, it's kind of both. It could be like a toaster oven, it's close enough. These 5 forms of Rotom are interesting because they change the Pokemon in an interesting way. They don't change its typing in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. However, what they do is that they change Rotom's signature move, because each of these forms have a signature move that they can all learn. The microwave would have Overheat, the fan would have Air Slash, the freezer would have Blizzard, the, the washing machine would have Hydro Pump, and the, the lawnmower would have Leaf Storm. All moves that are only unique to this form. And in my opinion, this event was handled kind of poorly because this is a Pokemon that you would catch normally in the game regardless. You would get Rotom no matter what. And if you don't have these forms, Rotom is kind of just an okay electric ghost type. Like, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but like, it's definitely clear that the main attraction to Rotom is these different forms. And they're locked behind an event key that were only available for a limited time. So, unfortunately, if you're like me and you're playing your copy now and you like Rotom, you kind of can't use these forms. And honestly, if I could use these forms, I probably would have used Rotom on my team. I probably would have done a thing where during the entire playthrough of this Let's Play, I would have kept changing his forms whatever battle we're coming up to. I could have had, like, Hydro Pump for, like, a fire, like, for fighting Flint or something like that, So this one's a bit of a shame, because it's a Pokemon you're always going to be able to get, but you can't use its full potential without this event. So, in my opinion, I would have just made this part of the base game. Maybe make it so it's like, I don't know, some sort of like thing you have to do with a trainer to open this door. Maybe you have like Looker help you out and like open the door or something. I don't know. I feel like it could have been handled better. But yeah, bit of a shame, but it's important to mention because, you know, this is an important part of a Pokemon that you can just catch in the base game, so I want to make sure I make note of it nonetheless. And just in case I forgot to mention it, which I probably did because, you know, I've been ranting about what I think this opportunity should have been, I had this opportunity was kind of squandered for this event. For Japan, this was released on September 28th, 2008 to November 4th, 2008. And also in America, April 20th to 2009 to May 12th, 2009. And in Europe from June 8th, 2009 through July 19th, 2009. So yeah, all these events long gone now. Bit of a shame, but I wanted to make note of them nonetheless because, I don't know, they're part of the game, and even though we can't access them now, I wanted to make sure I talk about it at some point during my Let's Play because, you know, they're kind of important and cool parts of, you know, the game's history. Well, with that being said, I have done my ranting for today. We talked about 3 Pokemon events that are unfortunately no longer available, but I want to make note of them nonetheless. We also explored a new route, even though we can't explore the full route because, you know, we don't want the Shaman events, but, you know, that's still what we're talking about. So with that being said, the whole team's back together again. Goodbye, Bidoof. And next time on Pokemon Platinum, I think it's finally time to stop screwing around and check out the Battle Frontier. With this dopey music making it really hard to hype it up, but shush. But yeah, next time Pokemon Platinum, we're finally entering the Battle Frontier. We're gonna talk about all 5 locations. See you guys then.